welcome into episode 5 of the Pucks Out Podcast, a member of the Penalty Box Radio Network. I am Bobby Butler. With me, as always, Mr. Brandon Bond.
Hey-o.
We are here in the Standing Stone Farm studio, and we got a great show for you today. It's time to crack open a cold one and talk some hockey and pop culture. Today's beer is Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA, the new official beer of the Pucks Out Podcast. We'd like to say thanks to the fine folks over at Sierra Nevada, the new official beer sponsor of the Pucks Out Podcast. That's a good beer. You know, I'm usually not an IPA guy, and this is I'm a porter guy. I can sit here and enjoy this beer.
Well, it's definitely not super overly hoppy, which is really what you hate.
Yeah, and they use those Magnum hops, which sound like it's gonna be very hoppy, but it's good. You can it's very crisp and refreshing.
Bigger is better.
Yeah,
is what I like to say.
But all right, we got a lot to talk about today. A lot of stuff in the news. How have you been this week, Brandon?
Yeah, so we both want to talk about that Predators game that we went to yesterday. Shout out Mama Jane for giving me those tickets. Yeah. So I actually got to be out there.
And if you're listening on Wednesday, it was not yesterday. It was on Sunday against the Blues. And it was a great game. It was Hockey Day in America.
Kind of losing my voice, man, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody
a lot of yelling.
Be able to tell. A lot of yelling.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that kind of hockey. Really defensive. For some reason, I had a feeling I needed to bust out my Kyle Turris jersey. And I did, and I guess it brought the luck, right, man? That was that was a dirty goal by Turris,
dude. Man. That was a beaut of a snipe.
That little pullback at the end, and it was like one of those situations where someone stops and they just the other guy flies right by.
Yeah.
What some good hockey, but even in terms of just good hockey, what dominant weekend for the Preds and the push towards the playoffs. Yeah.
Right? I said last week that the past 3 games, in my opinion, the 3 most important games of the season as of now. And I said we needed to get 5 out of 6 points. And what do you know? They rally and get all 6 points.
Yeah, that was a great weekend, and it really looks like they're playing hockey and finally played a second period in the Blues game yesterday. So that's good to see. We've been having a really tough second period, even though we've been the number 1 first period scoring team in the past 20-something games. So you hate to see that.
Yeah, I was sitting there with my wife, and with about 3 minutes left in the game, I looked at her and I said, because we weren't playing good offense at all. We were playing real defensive.
Yeah.
Pecorine stood on his head and got us out of that game. A lot of big saves. But I looked over and I said, honestly, if the Preds just get the 1 loser point tonight, I'll be happy. Because honestly, they didn't play like a team that should have gotten 2 points last night.
Well, and they already went and won yesterday out of a game that looked like they had it in hand. Came back and St. Louis tied it up and were able to score late in that Saturday game. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you, but those guys grinded hard. And funny thing is, basically Josi was not on the stat sheet. I think the only thing he had was a -1, and so that's not good for Josi, but it's good to see the team be able to win.
Yeah.
A game like that. Now that he wasn't doing nothing, but no shots, no points or anything. So you got to be able to win without those guys too. But
yeah, and speaking of getting some performance out of our not our top 6 guys, the Grimaldi Bonino Smith line has been on fire. They're one of the top forwards line this season with at least 200 minutes played. According to MoneyPuck.com, they're up there with lines like Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasta.
One of the lines that haven't really been broken up a lot either.
Which I think breaking up the lines was one of the reasons why Lavi just wasn't getting outcomes that he wanted. He kept tinkering.
John Hines is tinkering a little bit now, but because he's new, you got to figure out what you like. But that was a line he didn't really tinker with, so that's good to see. And I mean, those 3 guys are Nashville favorites. Even though Bonino came in here and beat us in the Cup a couple years ago,
So outside of the Preds, we want to send our well wishes to Jay Bouwmeester and his family. It sounds like he just got a surgery done, and he's left the hospital and he's headed home now, and so. Well wishes to him and his family.
Scary moment, right? And that's something you don't want to see on the side of a hockey game. I mean, right before the game even, So I guess it's lucky that it happened before the game started.
For sure.
And
if he had been in his hotel, this would be a completely different conversation.
Absolutely. We're in just the middle of the game, and maybe somebody doesn't realize that he slumps over, because they're into the game or whatever. So they're going to reschedule the game. Should be no big deal.
So let's move on to some news and notes from around the league right now. Let's talk the Stadium Series, man.
Stadium Series was awesome.
We saw the first Hattie in a in an outdoor game.
Yeah, dude, it was fantastic game. I watched that. Surprisingly, the Kings winning it. That was that you didn't see that coming. So.
Honestly, I think it's because they had the better helmet game. Them chrome domes were awesome.
Yeah, they were awesome. All the sweaters were awesome. Good hockey we played. I mean,
and speaking of Stadium Series, it was announced that there'll be one in Raleigh next year. So that's awesome. We'll be there in partnership with Sierra Nevada doing a live show, checking out the game and reporting to you guys about it. We're really excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I don't think I've ever spent an extended period of time in North Carolina, so that'll be fun. Going to Raleigh. You said NC State?
NC State. It'll be a fun time. We'll make a trip down to the Wilmington area, see some of my family. We're also proud to announce that with partnership with Sierra Nevada, we'll be in Minneapolis for the 2021 Winter Classic.
Yeah,
that'll be a really fun time.
We loved Minneapolis.
Oh, I love that city.
That's such a cool city, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have us about 13 more Juicy Lucy's, right?
Yeah, at the minimum.
That was the most expensive part of our trip, was Ubering all the way to South Minneapolis to get those.
Yeah,
worth it. Worth every bit of
in like the 4 feet of snow.
Those rideshare drivers, though, they whip around there like it was nothing, man. Okay, so we had spoken about old Tkachuk and Cassian and how we'd come here and talk about Cassian if he pulls a dirty move. Well, it looks as though he has. And he tried to Happy Gilmore a guy. He tried to stab him with a skate.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He only got 7 games for that.
Only 7 games. That's like almost an attempted murder. Like, he could have got that guy's neck or something.
Yeah, that should have been a minimum of 12 games.
That was scary. I guess they were adding those 2 games from when he ragdolled Tkachuk, too.
Yeah.
No, that was super scary. So, men of our words. They're not great words generally, Bobby, but we are men of them. Dirty play. Didn't like to see that at all. That's a lot different than what Tkachuk did. You know, Tkachuk was playing on the puck a little bit. You know, I mean, it's questionable, but it was closer to a hockey play than stabbing somebody. So maybe St. Louis is going to try to get him. No, you think?
Yeah, he'll fit right into that city.
Man.
All right. So another bad week for me in games of the week.
Shoot. Hey, you want me to give the scoreboard update?
I'm
gonna give him a scoreboard update, whether you like.
I was
it or
going
not,
to anyway, but feel free.
So we have 2 weeks of scored games that we've picked. I have 14 points. You have 0 points, Bobby.
Which is an improvement, believe it or not, because last week I had -1.
We went 6 to 1 this week, so it was a lot closer.
Little better.
Than it was last week. So you're getting there.
It was losing the double down that killed me.
I do wanna remind you that we're not playing golf rules. We're playing like hockey rules. I
already called golf rules, so now it's set. I called it.
Did you do a secret?
I called it.
A secret recording.
One night when you're really drunk, I just went, "Hey, golf rules."
Golf rules, by the way. Yeah. It's plausible. It could have happened. Okay.
But, so why don't you give us your first game of the week?
My first game of the week is Maple Leafs playing the Avalanche on Tuesday, the 18th. I'm going to go with the Leafs here. I actually have 2 Avalanche games this week. So I'm going to go with the Maple Leafs. I think that they're needing a little push in the East. Hopefully they can take down the Avs for us. I mean, the Preds kind of moved into position pretty close here lately. So I'm going to take the Maple Leafs. What about you, man? What do you got game 1?
All right. Well, you keep picking games before the episode drops. So
I know. It's so everybody can know how smart I am after they listen to it or forget.
So I've got a Leafs game as well. My first game of the week is going to be on Thursday, the 20th. And I've got Penguins versus Toronto. And I've got Toronto taking that game.
Okay, so a couple Leafs wins this week. I guess they're going to surge if it were up to us.
Yeah.
Game 2, I have the Islanders. The Islanders playing the Avalanche. Wednesday, the 19th, I actually have the Avs winning that one, and that will be my double down, man. I'm going to go with the Avs beating the Isles.
So last week, the Flames let me down. So now I'm out for a little bit of vengeance.
Okay.
I've got on Friday the 21st, I've got the Bruins and the Flames, and I've got Pasternak and the Bruins taking it to them. I've got the Bruins winning in my double down.
Okay. Trying to play it safe. But when you do this, Bobby, it's inevitably going to backfire.
Yeah.
The Flames are now just going to stab you in the heart twice.
How does David Rittich let the Hawks score 7 goals.
He
Ever
heard.
since he did that celebration where he threw his stick up in the air, he's got a ridiculously bad stat line of like
He's a-
3 something goals allowed per game, or like 4 goals allowed per game, and he's got like a 0.7 or 0.8 average.
He's a personal friend, Bobby. I called in a favor. He's on one of my fantasy teams, so. No, I don't know, man. Good luck to you. I actually mean that. I don't want it to be like 40-0, and when we're coming up on the playoffs here, I want this to be a game. So, I have for game number 3. Always happens. I always pick a Lightning game. Lightning Golden Knights on Thursday, and I did a good job of spreading my games out this time, so people can try to watch all of them. I have the Lightning winning this game. Maybe they can. I picked against them last week, and so I'm going to do the opposite of you and actually go back and try to pick them and win back their favor.
All right. So I've got a Preds game for Friday the 21st as well. It's 2 teams in contention for a wild card spot. The Preds versus the Blackhawks.
That was
Always a good
game.
matchup.
Yeah, that was.
Both teams always show up for each other. We're in the home stretch now, and it's time to put up or shut up. So the Preds need to show up, and I think it's going to be a good game. I'm picking with my heart and a little bit with my head here. I got the Preds beating the Hawks.
Yeah, that's. At least one of your picks last week, you felt good about losing it.
Yeah.
you picked the Blues, but the Preds won. So sometimes it feels good so I think that's a good pick, man, and it would definitely be a good game. My last game, I also took the Bruins, a Bruins game, but Saturday they are playing the Canucks, and so I wasn't brave enough to double down on it, but I'm going to take the Canucks for the W here, man. I mean, you never know when they're just gonna show up and Markstrom's just going to shred you. So I think that the Canucks beat the Bruins on Saturday.
Yeah, the Bruins. That's the second game of back-to-back for the Bruins.
Yeah, so I wonder who they'll put in goal on the first night. That'll. I mean, they got 2 dope goalies though. So Halak,
does it really matter?
And Rask, right? Exactly. So yeah, hopefully the Canucks can catch them sleeping.
Yeah. So one thing I'm noticing is that I'm making the mistake of taking really good competitive games rather than easy games, which I should be doing.
Layup.
But it's not about
That's
me.
not
It's
fun.
about you, the listener.
This is we're supposed to be able to give an argument for compelling narrative.
Yeah.
Of rivalry. So if I saw this dude picking a Senators game every week or picking the team that's playing Detroit,
Lightning every week.
I have 4 Detroit games this week. then I'll have to use the power of the 14-0 lead to silence you. So who do you got?
Yeah, so I've got Caps versus the Penguins. That was a hard one to choose between who I wanted to win. I think I wrote it down like 4 times, changed my mind.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
a tough game to pick right there.
And what I did was whatever my heart said, I went the opposite direction. I want the Capitals to win. I'm an OV fan, so I went the opposite direction because so far my heart has let me down these past 2 weeks.
Well, and it always feels good when you go against your heart. It's like betting on the other team that's not your favorite team.
Yeah.
They win, you feel good. Who cares if I lost the $20 or whatever? But if they lose, wow, I came into a little money.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I've got the
call.
Penguins beating the Caps.
Good call.
All right, so before we move on, I want to talk real quick on the recent trade. A pretty big trade.
It's not in the doc, by the way, so I was unable to do my traditional no research on this.
So the Lightning traded away 2019 first-round pick Nolan Foote and the first-round pick they acquired from the Canucks to New Jersey in exchange for Blake Coleman. I think it's a pretty good trade for the Lightning. I mean, they're getting stacked.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say what need or is that team filling at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just stacking on good players after good players. So Blake Coleman's had a hell of a year, man.
I think in Tampa he's not going to be a top 6. I think he'll be a third line left winger. Being a
4th liner in Tampa is most teams' first line.
Yeah,
so, I think it'll be a good move for Tampa. I wonder if Blake Coleman is having such an offensive showing because he was the only guy in New Jersey that was taking shots and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if he can contribute to a winning hockey games for the Lightning. They need some help in that area. They're not that good.
All right, so time to move outside the NHL for a bit. Myles Garrett has been reinstated to the NFL. Thoughts?
I don't think
criticisms.
I don't think that he should be allowed to wear a helmet anymore.
No,
he just has to go helmetless because we've seen what he can do with that as a weapon. I fully wholeheartedly agreed that he should have been I loved the rest of the season. Even as a joke, the NFL said for all the season and the playoffs, as if the Browns were going to make the playoffs, as if that was going to be a thing. So, I mean, I think it's fine that he's reinstated. He missed a good bit of games. I mean, it took Vontaze Burfict trying to rip off 3 people's legs and kill 2 guys before he was tossed for good. Myles Garrett coming back. I mean, we can all agree. Mason Rudolph started that fight, bro.
Yeah.
You started that fight.
And whether or not, there's reports, Myles Garrett said he used a racial slur. Yeah. I don't think we'll ever know the real story of what happened down on the field.
I mean, you would think that there had to have been other Browns players and Steelers players. I would imagine eventually you'll hear Pouncey or whatever, because there was 4 or 5 guys there in that little group at that point when he's going rampage with the helmet. So, Freddie Kitchens got what he deserved on that. After getting fired, just completely aloof, pretending as though his player didn't strike another player with a helmet.
Wearing that ridiculous shirt that he wore.
Yeah. What did it say? Mason started it
something
or something like that.
Something not smart for a head coach to be wearing.
I mean, really, for anybody, it's silly.
Yeah.
But I mean, just have a little class. I know that's not what the Cleveland Browns organization is known for, a little class. But come on, man.
So we're in the middle of spring training right now, and let's talk the Astros.
Man, we actually cleared a few things off the dock to talk about this for a little while, because I was like, I don't want to just go and scratch the surface on it. I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to get just more and more stuff coming out. The way that all these guys are handling it, man, it makes you so mad. They're just brushing it off as if there should be no recourse for their actions. It's absurd. Baseball wonders why it's dying. It's because of stuff like this. There's everything in baseball is every sport has them. The list of unwritten rules. If they're not written down, they're not rules, okay? I'm one of those guys that, look, sign stealing is a part of the game. If your guy's on second base and he's able to signal the batter.
Yeah.
That's a strategic part of the game.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to show me your signs and your catcher leave your eyesight on where you can watch his signs, go for it. That's not cheating. That's playing the game. But just this whole ordeal with the veracity at which they are denying this and pretending like we should have no right to think that they may have implemented this part after all the stuff that we've already found out about, that you've admitted to. Why would we give you the benefit of the doubt when you've given us no reason to do so? They haven't stripped you of your World Series titles. Not a single player got in trouble. And then I think Manfred said pretty recently, World Series trophy, it's just a piece of metal. It's the World Series. You, instead of playing down to make this not seem as bad of a move, why not play up to it? Yes, exactly. It is a piece of metal. The most coveted piece of metal in the MLB. So basically what you're saying is people just play 162 games in the playoffs, and it doesn't matter because it's in the past. This has been one of the grossest miscarriages of justice that I think I've ever
seen. I'm not a big MLB guy. I watch in October if the Red Sox are in the playoffs, but that's about it. I have some pretty extreme views on when it comes to rules that need to be changed.
You're not a polarizing guy, generally.
For example, I think that PEDs should be 100% allowed, if not mandatory.
Well, see, if we're going to talk about...
And if you're not man enough to do what you need to do to win, there's a AAA team for you, buddy.
Hey, get out of here, buddy. This is a steroid team. Also, let me hit you with this. My buddy Wheeler always pushes aluminum bats, dude. You think about it. We start getting
dingers.
800-900 feet home runs, dude. Baseball's back.
Yeah.
There may be a few pitcher casualties. Yeah, I mean, but really, one of the things that I think would actually be viable, now, it would never work because of the 13 baseball truthers in the whole country. And not 13,000. There's like 13 of these people. And they're, you'll never change my baseball. I thought they were going to have a conniption fit when they put replay in baseball.
Yeah.
They're like, are you kidding? It's the same play over and over again. No, but seriously, I think they should go to 7 innings. I think that would be, first of all, it would speed up the game. And 7 innings is enough. It would make it for better pitching.
I mean, 4 innings is enough, really, for me.
Well, see, and I like going to a baseball game, but they need to get these guys on like a shot clock or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nomar Garciaparra. You don't get 17 minutes in between pitches anymore.
Yeah. That's insane.
That's absurd. There's so much to love about baseball.
Also, I think they should take a hockey standpoint. If someone gets beaned, let them fight. Now they still get ejected from the game, but if they're gonna get ejected anyway, let them swing, let them fight,
let them square up. Dude.
Yeah,
finally they're playing baseball, for goodness sake. That guy hasn't run in like a week because he's been in the hitting slump. Okay, plays first base. So yeah, no, I agree, man. Let them slug it out. I'm not a big fan of the pitchers throwing at guys' heads and stuff like that. I bet you some of these Astro players are gonna get pelted.
Yes, for sure. I think though where they're going to get it the worst is from the fans. This is it's a long baseball season.
Yeah.
And I think at the beginning of the season they're going to band together and stay strong, but eventually, man, the abuse you're going to take from fans every away game is going to get old. You're going to get stuff thrown at you. It's going to be bad.
And one of the guys was coming into training camp or something, and some fan was standing on the side and started beating on a trash can to him. I think that's good. And they're not playing in L.A. this year. They're not playing the Dodgers this year, so a big block of Dodgers fans bought tickets to the Angels game and is going to be there to heckle and cheer them. Yeah, poor Dodgers,
Yeah. Do you think their championship should be vacated?
Yes, absolutely. I don't think that then necessarily the Dodgers get it. I don't think.
You think just vacated, no winner for that year?
No winner. They shouldn't be able to claim that. They shouldn't be able to hang it up anywhere.
No. I agree. I don't. A lot of people just want it to be awarded to the Dodgers, but
that's not the way. That's not the way it works.
It's not. It's because what about the other teams they beat? How many other rounds did they do this in?
Right. That.
I just vacate it, and honestly, I would just vacate the entire playoffs for that year. I mean, it's been corrupted.
Yeah, it's a bad look, and it's being made even worse by the way that Manfred players are treating us stupidly.
I've never seen a crisis handled so bad in my life.
It is baseball, so I think that
not many crises.
Every morning, the commissioner of baseball looks up and he says, "You got lives to ruin today, buddy." And he puts his suit on 2 legs at a time. He doesn't even use 1 leg at a time. He's not even that guy.
All right, it's time for a mid-roll and time to pay the bills. Today's episode of Pucks Out Podcast is brought to you by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Sierra Nevada has been family-owned and operated since 1980. The #1 craft brand in 2018 continues to be the #1 selling hazy IPA and the fastest-growing craft brand in 2020. Go get yourself the 2019 gold medal winning Hazy Little Thing IPA and experience the crisp and refreshing Magnum hops that they have to offer. Now back to the show. All right, it's time for Joke of the Week. And I've got a pretty ridiculous story coming out of, where else than Michigan? So
that's not really where I expected you to say,
Well, Detroit.
I was thinking Florida.
Well, Detroit in particular. So this was reported back in January. A person of color, Mr. Thomas up there, had just settled a discrimination lawsuit with his former employer. Then he took that discrimination lawsuit check to the bank, and they refused to cash the check and ended up calling the cops on him. And then he went and filed another discrimination suit against the bank.
I mean, shoot your shot, man. I can't believe that. That seems like a joke, Bobby.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, it sounds.
I assumed it was The Onion, but it wasn't The Onion. It was real life.
Man, that is stuff only for satire sites. I cannot believe that this is even real. What did he try to cash the check? Or did he just try to deposit it?
I think he tried to deposit it and they wouldn't deposit it. They tried to say, the check said void on it. Come on, man. No, it didn't.
What? He was going to deposit it. So if it's fake, no harm, no foul, right?
Yeah.
You got time to figure this out. Maybe we should verify, Sorry, sir. This is, this big sum of money. We got to call some people and make sure. I'm sure.
But they called the police on him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm sure that, I'm sure there was other people to call. Okay, so this is from a settlement. Should we call the company that this check is from to see if that's the case? No, Bob. No. Police. Get the police down here. Stat. What a joke.
All right, so time to move into some pop culture. It is our first episode talking Marvel.
My goodness, Bobby. I have been freaking marathoning, dude. I've been doing so much Marvel watching, so many movies, dude. I'm not a movie guy, you know that about me. I've watched like 16 in like the past like week and a half, 2 weeks. So I got through it though. I got through all the way through Endgame. Awesome stories. There was only a few that I didn't really like. I think we're gonna do like a full discussion next week, but I think this week we're just doing
our top five. Yep, we're ranking our top 5 Infinity Saga movies.
Okay.
So I'll start us off here. Number 5. You haven't had a chance to see this actually because it's not on Disney Plus, so we have to.
You said, "Oh, you don't have to watch this, bro," and then throw it in your top 5.
Well,
Thanks.
because I wanted you to watch everything that had to do.
Thanks.
So I wanted you to get to Endgame and Infinity War.
Thanks a lot, Bobby.
So,
Selfish.
and this is actually Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Looks good.
You know, Spider-Man, they've been trying to get that series off the ground for like 2 decades now.
There are a lot of Tobey Maguire truthers out there that don't want to see, and I was one of them, Bobby. But even seeing Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the other MCU movies, he's awesome. He's
amazing.
Really, really good Spider-Man.
Yeah. He breathes new life into a hero that, you know, like I said, they've been trying to get off the ground for so long, and he finally's done it. It was a fun movie to watch. It didn't have a lot to do with the grander scheme of things with the Infinity Stones, but sometimes that's good. It's just a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I can agree with that. I wish I could have seen it, but no, that's I'm looking forward to seeing that in Far From Home. Those are the only 2.
I haven't had a chance to see Far From Home yet.
See that. So my number 5 is actually Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I really enjoyed that movie a whole lot, and I like the fact that they're more of that band of misfits than they are superheroes.
I like that movie a lot.
So I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy 1. You gotta love
Andy Dwyer.
You gotta love Andy Dwyer. Chris Pratt. Sorry, I couldn't think of it. Could not think of his name, but. Also, I really liked that because it was so entangled in the Power Stone. And so it was directly related to, you could see the link. Now, they all have links, but this one
was a direct link for the plot.
Ronan the Destroyer is sent. So I loved Guardians 1. But all these people just give the stones that they get to just some terrible cop agency, like the Nova Corps. Like
they would have done a better job protecting that stone.
That's what I'm saying. You know, that's the most interesting thing to me is like somebody wasn't like, hey, should we just have this like glorified space FBI not hold this?
Yeah. So moving on to my number 4, this was the original Avengers.
Hey, that's what I got too, and I actually rewatched that this morning, dude. So we can really talk about it.
The Battle of New York was just amazing. And I think above all else, Mark Ruffalo steals the show.
Yeah,
as the Hulk.
Yeah, he does such a good job.
It is such a good representation of the Hulk, and I mean, let's be honest, Edward Norton was never like natural playing the Hulk.
I like the movie, but yes, I just didn't. You just don't feel that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love Edward Norton.
Yeah.
He's
a great actor.
American History X is one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion. So I love him, but I agree with you. Mark Ruffalo gives you that kind of scientist-y feel that you never really got from Norton, or at least I did.
Yeah.
So obviously my number 4 is also Avengers 1. I really liked the fight scene between Iron Man, Thor, and then old Papa Captain America.
Oh, in the woods?
Yeah, in the woods.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I've watched that on YouTube a couple times. It's really fun. That's a fun one to watch.
Old Papa Cap comes in and, hey, you boys, you got to stop fighting, because he's like 90.
The boomer.
He's like, okay, buddy, okay. You know what always intrigued me, because we got all the way through, Captain America, who always has these strong opinions of how things should be done, he himself had never been to space. So I just felt like maybe that's kind of like Yoda when he was the boss. Like maybe he doesn't have the freshest ideas and his viewpoint is a little warped. But Avengers 1 is cool. You get to see Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. That is a great showing. So my number 3, I actually have, I believe its full title is Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that movie. I love the collaborations that you'll see this as evidenced in my top 5 picks. I love the everybody coming together, even if they're fighting each other or whatever. Ant-Man, Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
The Ant-Man or Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't make my top 5. really, really, really entertaining movies. I thoroughly enjoyed both of those, and so he kind of stole Civil War there at the end too.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because it so directly ties into Infinity War and why he's not around and that.
Yeah.
So I have Civil War as my number 3.
So yeah, number 3, I've got another Avengers movie, Age of Ultron. This one got a lot of heat from a lot of people. A lot of people
Really?
didn't like it.
It's
Yeah, it's known as like one of the it's known as probably the worst Avengers movie, which is crazy because I loved it, man.
I did too, man. James Spader.
I mean, yeah, the team starts to click together. You got Robert California as the bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fun movie.
Yeah, I really like. I actually have that as my number 2,
Yeah, and we get to meet Vision finally.
and obviously the Scarlet Witch. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Wanda, yeah.
Wanda. Yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. So I don't know why folks didn't like it. I like the team up type of deal. So it's cool to have to see him fight an AI that was they themselves created, basically the best of all.
Well,
of
not
them.
they, Tony.
They, yeah.
yeah. Let's not spread the blame around.
They're a team, buddy. Okay, they're a team. One guy cheats, the whole team cheats.
Yeah.
So obviously, you just said my number 2, Age of Ultron. I liked it for very similar reasons as you. What do you have at your number 2, man?
Number 2, I've got Infinity War.
Okay, wow.
This was a decade of breadcrumbs that finally culminated in some of the best fights in the entire saga.
Oh my gosh, I actually have that as my number 1.
Yeah.
So
Now, I think when Thor gets his new hammer, or I guess axe,
Axe, yes.
one of the best entrances in all of the saga.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
Yeah, when he comes flying in on that,
Yeah.
on the lightning and that battle going on in Wakanda, that's happening. I think that Thor was probably the closest to defeating Thanos. He had him.
Yeah.
Didn't go for the head. Should have gone for
And
the
I
head.
love Thanos. Honestly, Thanos is one of my favorite villains in all of cinema.
He's making a lot of sense sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
he's not completely wrong. I mean, yes, the genocidal part, in his crazy head, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I liked it because he wasn't this
He didn't want world
just
domination.
evil. Right. He didn't
It wasn't
care
about world
the power,
domination.
He didn't care about anything like that. He really had this one goal and he stuck to it.
Yeah.
But I thought that Tony or Iron Man basically almost had him. Almost had that gauntlet off.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny when that.
So you weren't a fan when the movie, I don't think you really cared that much when the movie came out on the Reddits. Oh, trust me. Chris Pratt Star-Lord got a lot of hate for screwing that fight up.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's what I was thinking. You guys got 4 folks here fighting. But why are you guys always only fighting one at a time? I know there was that one part where they're holding him and they're trying to pull. Tom Holland, you don't know how to pull a gauntlet off, bro. You got super webs, and it's just oh, I've got it now. Why didn't you have it before?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. So Andy Dwyer coming in and messing up pretty bad. So, but yeah, Tony got mad and really almost had that off. So that was probably in that movie. I think that was probably my favorite fight scene. And then he snaps out and goes to Wakanda to get the other one.
And now that was your number 1, wasn't it?
Yes, that was my number 1. I loved it all the way through, and then at the very end when they're fighting and it's just people start dissipating. I obviously didn't have to deal with this, but most people had to wait an entire year to find out what was going to happen. So I had to wait a day. So that was a lot better.
Yeah, so my number 1, it's kind of out of left field, but when I think, it was the most fun movie to watch for me. And that is Thor Ragnarok.
Thor, it was a really good movie. It was
Yeah.
very lighthearted. You kind of start seeing the
Yeah,
Hulk.
it's fun, it's silly, it's great action. That's what these movies are about. At the end of the day, that's what these Marvel superhero movies are about. They're not going to win awards. They're not, for cinema heads. They're not for, the Sundance folks. They're for men and women that just want to watch awesome action. And that's what this movie was. The best soundtrack in the entire saga, for one. In the arena, when he's like, oh, I know him from work. And Loki's face is like, oh, shit. It was awesome. And you could tell that Taika Waititi, and I think I might be butchering his name, but Taika Waititi, his Thor is my favorite Thor. The serious, but yet kind of aloof, having fun.
He's really funny, and then they all the movies had a little bit of evidence of that. Where
Yeah.
they have him
But
joking and stuff,
some
but
movies they
he-
make Thor way too serious.
Right.
And look at his upbringing. That's not who Thor is. Thor was the quarterback of the football team, no worry, silver spoon.
Yeah.
He was the favorite son of Odin, got anything he wanted.
Yeah, Loki was the super serial The
Yeah.
background guy, yeah, absolutely. And I was surprised that Endgame didn't make my list. But for so many reasons, I loved the whole movie. I loved what it represented. I loved the closing out to all the stories. Yeah. It's 3 hours long. It was very long. Me and Stephanie watched it, and we kept pausing and be like, all right, well, how much left? Okay, how is there still an hour and 30 minutes left? I feel like I've watched the whole movie. So it was super long. It was a great ending to the saga. But as far as the way that it makes you feel at the end, there's this existential dread that you're now done with this universe and this entire saga is done. There's nothing to look forward to in terms of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, so we'll continue. This is just a 2-part series on Marvel. So next week we'll just have a general discussion and then we'll move on. And we're going to take a break from talking movies or anything like that and just kind of do some general discussion about life. We'll do some would you rather questions, just kind of more of take the comedic route and, just take it easy. So, Brandon, what are you binging right now, man?
I don't even have a show on here because I've just, like I've told you, I've been marathoning these movies. If I get a chance to sit down and watch one of them, I knew I needed to. So I've been binging Marvel movies. Funnily enough,
always good.
So always good. Maybe I'll try to keep up a little bit when they're coming out this next time, so I don't have to do something like this again. But so I would say I'm binging Marvel movies and keeping it old school. Like I've been drinking some Coors Light. Mountains are turning blue for me. All that good stuff. Sometimes they just hits the spot. And you know what people have told me about Coors Light and canoeing, right? They're both near water. So, I've been staying hydrated as well.
So, one thing I know you were also binging, you were at my house the other day. We were playing some NHL 3s. Is that porter?
The
porter that I hated.
The Blackstone porter that you came on here and accused of being Black Abbey. And it wasn't. But I drank all 5 of those beers, and they were delicious, everybody. So I do want to give a shout out to was it the St. Charles Porter?
St. Charles Porter.
Yeah. It was fine, everybody. Don't listen to Bobby's opinion of it. So go have one for yourself.
If you're a fan of porters, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, it was almost like a hoppier.
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, so I've been binging the show Travelers on Netflix with Eric McCormick, the lead actor from Will and Grace was in it. But yeah, so honestly, now that we are officially sponsored by Sierra Nevada, I have been drinking that hazy little thing. I'm trying to get my hands on some of that Norwal. Hint, hint to our sponsor.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to try that out. It's their porter. It's their dark beer, and I want to drink that. And as a dark beer guy, I'm excited to try it.
I think we're contractually obligated to not enjoy other beers now. Right?
Yeah,
we're allowed to have them. We're allowed to drink them. But we can express no positivity one way or the other about the beers. So,
except for my Guinness.
All right. So, pushing into What Snaps Your Stick, brought to you by Sierra Nevada. Tastes like home.
Yeah. So, let me start off with mine. And this is something like all of my takes, pretty decisive. That is letting fans vote players in for the All-Star game.
Did you mean divisive or decisive?
Oh, did I say decisive?
You said decisive. No, you're leaving this in there, Bobby. I'm not letting you get this out of there. Go ahead.
Luckily, I'm the one who edits.
Everything you decide is decisively.
All right, so one thing that really snaps my stick is letting fans vote for the players in All-Star games. I understand doing like the last man in thing for NHL, letting them vote one guy in. Yeah, letting a fan favorite in. But that's not what the All-Star game is supposed to be about. The All-Star game is supposed to be showcasing the best talent in the league. The fans are stupid. We, as fans, are not smart when it comes to who's the best person in the league because we vote with this thing called our heart. We should let the league vote for the stats.
I vote with my hand, Bobby, because it's usually online.
Oh, I should see a doctor about that then.
Yeah, you shouldn't be putting the phone inside of your chest.
You mean this?
The All-Star.
Oh, I've been doing it like Indiana Jones, Kalimaning it out and just.
Okay, that's probably not as decisive as you think it is. We're really tearing our fan base apart here, Bobby, with these hot takes. Okay, so my sports answer is games that don't start at the time that they are scheduled at. If you tell me as a fan that the Predators game, and now I will say that hockey is not as bad as other sports, football.
Oh my God.
But if you say that game starts at 7, my mind, what should be happening at 7 o'clock
Puck drop.
is you should be dropping the puck and the game is starting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is everybody's got really busy lives, and going to a game, not just Preds games, Titans games, soccer games, whatever. And now soccer is actually really, really good about that. You know, this is the time that the game kicks off, and then they run the clock, and then nobody gets to have extra time except for a few minutes at the end of the halves. But yeah, so I can't stand it when they tell me game starts at this time, and then really it starts 30 minutes later. And so that would easily be one of my sports snapping my stick.
For that, I like to give them a 5 to 10 minute waiver.
Sure.
But what I don't like is when it's more than 15 minutes. If it's if we're going on 7:30 and puck was supposed to drop at 7, get it together. If you've got pregame stuff you need to do, like a ceremony, cool.
Yes.
Start it earlier, or tell us the game starts at 7:30.
7:15. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I
take the stuff into
agree with
account.
that. Right. Take people's time into account. I agree with you on that. I'm not saying it needs to be, oh, wow, 7:01. Look at this.
She's in the middle of the anthem and she just gets pulled to the side. Oh, no, we got to start it.
I want to highlight that what you're saying is very correct. I'm giving you some window. But 7 doesn't mean 7:15.
No.
7 doesn't mean 7:25.
It means 7 to 7:10.
7 to 7:10. Get your stuff together. But again, you get paid a lot of money to do this, so it should be.
Yeah.
Realistically, it should be.
You have a couple days to practice this ceremony stuff.
Yeah.
And I get if you've got a back-to-back and you got like something happen, you got a ceremony, fine. You know, we're reasonable people to an extent.
Yeah. we don't it's not like we dedicate an entire section of our show to complaining about things, Bobby.
We should though. I think that'd be a great idea for a show.
You know what? My complaint is going to be that we don't complain enough.
That is very true. We will do better for you, the fans, and we will make sure we get our complaining levels higher. And I've got a great one for you right now.
Okay. What do you got?
For non-sports. People who don't know how bars work.
Oh,
when I go to the bar, especially at Predators game up in the all-inclusive zone, you get to the bar and there's queues. Don't line up in a queue, man. That's not how bars work. You see.
And especially in a situation where you're getting a free drink. Why are you lining up behind the cash register when there will be no cash exchange in this instance?
Like if there's an open spot at the bar, you go to that open spot and you wait.
I know. People think that you're like genius when you do it. I'm like, hey guys, this is a bar.
That or some boomer looks at you like you're the worst person in the world.
I wasn't paying attention. I was getting two beers, Bobby.
And we might have learned that from our college bar gyms. You know, that's probably where we learned it from.
Well, that was a true fortress of bardom. Okay?
Yeah.
Having boobies or flirting with the bartender got you nothing. They talked one language.
Tips.
And it was, how much money am I going to make by serving this guy over this guy? And so we could go up to it with a crowded bar, 100 people. I would always take a little stool and just move it up behind everybody and like pop my head over the crowd, and they'd come see me because they know they're going to probably, the more drinks they get me, they're just raising that tip percentage.
So PSA, if you're at a bar and there's a line, skip the line and go to an open spot. That's how bars work. And if someone tries to give you shit, tell them that they are wrong and that they shouldn't be there and they should go home.
Sir, you've had too many, is what I would say. But no, there will be a specific indication to you if you're supposed to line up in a queue, if it's a subway style situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't walk into the middle of the subway glass and skip people. That's not how that works. All right. So my non-sports is, we always have car stuff, and I guess it's because we live in Nashville and basically live half of our lives in traffic. Cars that don't fully get in the turn lane, that hang out into the second lane. Like, what? Why are you taking up 2 lanes? No, sometimes I get the impossible not to do that. Right. I'm not a madman.
We're still gonna bitch at you, but we get it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I don't get it. I don't get what it is. Like, you not feel comfortable driving your car, you're not able to turn it, or you not understand how cars work, that I can't now pass through your bumper, and it now inconveniences not only me, but every 1,000 other people that are behind me in, again, dense Nashville traffic sometimes. So that is really snapping my stick. But before we get out of here, I did want to give a shout out to our DC Defenders. Now 2-0, baby. Yeah, baby, 2-0. But that wasn't even the biggest win on the field.
The beer snake.
The beer snake that had to have spanned, what would you say? 16 to 20, 30 rows, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to have been like $30,000 worth of beer in that beer snake. So I was very surprised, and I just kept thinking when they're showing it that it's going to end soon, and it just never ended. It was so long. So shout out to our boys, since this is a Defenders podcast.
All right, before we sign off, we recently had another Twitter campaign for some free tickets. You had to like, retweet, and comment with who you would take to the game for the February 27th Star Wars game.
Ooh, I think, hey, we're going to that game too.
Yeah, we'll be there, and we are excited. And I am proud to announce that the winner for this week is Mrs. Vera Todd. So you have 24 hours to contact us for your tickets. And if she doesn't contact us, we will contact somebody else from the who was entered in. So, thank you for entering. And we don't have any free tickets for the next week, but stay tuned. We will keep doing some giveaways.
We're going to have some Sierra Nevada swag.
Yeah, we'll be doing some of that.
We're going to give some of that away.
For unfortunately, there's no seats available for this coming up season, but next season we'll be doing some where you can win a single ticket sitting next to us in the Dierks Bentley all-inclusive zone.
Why would they want that, Bobby?
Well, it's you don't have to talk to us if you don't want to, but you'll be seated next to us, and that comes with all you can eat, all you can drink, some desserts.
We want engagement from the folks. We want them to actually want these. No, that's awesome. So congratulations, Miss Todd, on your tickets. Look forward to hearing from you.
All right. So before we sign off today, what did you learn in this episode, Brandon?
I would say I learned that divisive is a very difficult word for you to master.
I really hope I don't edit that out, or else people have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you try to edit this out, I learned that Bobby said divisive decisive instead of divisive like 4 times, and so when he inevitably edits it out, I throw it in the what I learned section, so you couldn't get me.
Well, you might just hear me mimicking Brandon's voice.
Oh yeah, I learned nothing.
I'm stupid.
I'm dumb. Dang it, you got me.
I actually forfeit all my games of the week.
I want to give all my points to Bob. Why am I doing a voice?
Well, I learned that I need to hold better onto my beers because we took a break for a second and I spilled my beer all over my pants. So
Rookie. Fallen soldier.
Hey, I only spilled it a little bit.
You said it. I mean, you said it best. The dangers of the game, man.
Yeah, dangers of the trade. All right, so it's about time to sign off. For Brandon Bond, this is Bobby Butler signing off. This has been episode 5 of the Pucks Out podcast, part of the Penalty Box Radio Network. Have a great day.
Peace.